But, I mean, he's playing Elixir in the main. I'm a big fan of that. I like that he still has the Elixir in the deck.
Okay. We've seen just a lot of different versions of like the splash, of what people want to splash. I know Sam Pardee when we were in Los Angeles, it was just for Thoughtseize.
So if you want to play Hero's Downfall, you have to run some Watery Graves and Godless Shrines. That's the opportunity cost here. So you can't just play Temples, you're gonna need a couple more. And he is playing 2 of each Shockland. So I guess the question is how much those Shocklands hurt you in other matchups.
The junk deck that Michael's playing, very close to what Gerard Fabiano wrote about I think it was about a week ago. You've got 4 Sylvan Caryatids, 2 Scavenging Oozes, 2 Obsidaths, 2 Archangel of Thunes, 4 Coursers, 2 copies of Pool of Chronos, 3 Voice of Resurgence. Did some really nice spells, actually. 4 Heroes Downfalls, 4 Thoughtseize, 4 Abrupt Decays, 2 Elspeths, 2 Underworld Connections, and a Vraska. So this is the definition of a good card deck.
All over the place.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So I like the 1 Vraska, 2 Archangel, 2 Obsidat, 2 Elspeth. It's just got a little bit of everything.
Yeah. This is just a good card deck. It's a good card sideboard, too. 2 Blood Barons, 1 Golgari Charm, 3 Musketeer Hydras, another Obsidat, a Needle, 3 Sin Collectors, 2 Ultimate Price, 2 Underworld Connections. So, yeah, and he even wrote down S's archetype, junk good stuff. That's actually what he wrote down on the table. So it's not a bad deck. I mean, we saw Reed played this at the Invitational. You see both players taking a mulligan down to at least 6 cards here. Reed ended up making, I think, got 10th place on Breakers, the Invitational, where he played this junk deck in the standard portion. And then Fabiano, I believe, lost in the finals or won the IQ that he played with this strategy. So
yeah, well, there's this whole kind of different bowl of decks that are all playing 4 Sylvan Caryatid. Now they pretty much all play 4 Courser of Crufix, and then they just play good stuff in 2 other colors. And it gives you a lot of flexibility, especially out of the sideboard. For example, if you look at Villavicencio's deck, in the sideboard, he can bring in against Esper, he can bring in 3 Sin Collectors, he can bring in Ultimate Price numbers 3 and 4, and he can bring in 3 Mistcutter Hydras and an Obsidat, replacing some of the less impressive threats like Archangel of Thune.
Yeah. A nice shift that he can make. That's the thing that's kind of nice about these junk decks is that game 1 you're kind of hedging against everything, and then the sideboard of games you can really just streamline your deck to beat whatever you want to play against, but you're giving up some real win percentage in game 1 if you draw the wrong half of your deck against the wrong opponent.
Well, we saw that even as, last season when Jund midrange ended up being probably one of the top decks, if not the top deck of the format. We saw the best strength of the Jund good stuff strategy was that it could sideboard better than just about any deck in the format.
Yep.
And I think the same is true of Villavicencio's deck. He gains points in almost every matchup.
And the other thing, too, that we can't forget, Thragtusk is the ultimate, hedge card.
Sure.
It's good against aggro and control.
It's good against everything.
Yeah. That was the thing that rock decks never had before. I feel as they didn't have a card that was as powerful as Thragtusk, which was, I'm just completely busted.
I'm good
in every way.
Yeah. That certainly is true.
Remember the days of Thragtusk? It seems like it was long ago. It really wasn't.
Oh boy, that guy sure could tap out for him whenever you wanted.
Think we have a reprint of that on the horizon? Probably not.
That'd be great. I think we should reprint Restoration Angel with it. That'd be great.
Mistcutter Hydra in for 1 here. Just a little baby.
It's a baby Hydra. And I think the reason he's making that play is because he has more Mistcutters, and I don't know if he has more lands. Mistcutter Hydra for 1, I don't know. Oh, gosh.
My assumption
you got a clock.
My assumption is if you're playing that for 1, you've got something to do with your mana for the rest of the game.
Yes.
That is my assumption. Here's a Temple of Silence, providing some black mana here for Michael. I'm going to leave that card on top really fast.
Yeah, he does have Courser of Crufix in his hand, so his 3rd mana is spoken for.
Yep.
It does. That may be possible. It looks like between the other cards in his hand that he may actually have something on every other turn.
Godless Shrine going to come and play untapped here.
Well, that speaks volumes about a possible dissolve.
Yep. Hero's Downfall, maybe. Doesn't look like Woodrow has one in his hand.
And Bogucki, it looks like, has a typical control hand. It's pretty good here. It looks like he has a Revelation, a Supreme Verdict, a Dissolve, and an Elspeth, and at least 1 more land. All he really has to do is make his land drops.
Well, here's a little bit bigger Hydra. That's for 3, so an attack here for 4.
A bit of a hedge from Villavicencio. He does not swing the Mistcutter Hydra. Oh, he did. He did swing it.
Okay.
All right, I was going to be like, that's strange.
Like, he's trying to play Celestial Flare, but he doesn't have to do it that way. Okay. So Supreme Verdict is going to clean them up either way.
Yeah, it was a bit of a hedge from Villavicencio, figuring that if Bogucki didn't have the Supreme Verdict, then he would just really be able to take him to town there. The Supreme Verdict does set him back quite a ways, but as you see, there's another miscutter and a voice left in his hand. So certainly still has game.
I mean, he could have, dropped down a courser, maybe finds land and drops down a voice too. I actually kind of like this play of just keeping the pressure on the entire time, though.
Bogucki, with 2 temples in his hand, probably wants to try to find an untapped land. He does have an Elspeth in his hand. That's going to be his best answer to this missed cutter.
That's the big one. Looks like Underworld Connections.
Oh, wow.
Those are thoughts
he's going to have to dissolve that.
Yeah, I don't think he has a choice because Elspeth is so important.
Yeah, I mean, he has very few ways to answer missed cutter Hydra. I mean, so the other thing is that if you didn't value the Elspeth, you'd let it resolve, so then you'd have to take the Elspeth, and then you could dissolve the next spell. But yeah, Dissolve's just canceled there. He'd already kept that card on top of his deck, so he'd already made a decision about it. The Scry one didn't do anything.
Michael, is it going to be Courser? And it is, okay. Chance he plays voice there, but okay. That's actually a really, really important land. Going to get him a life, which doesn't matter too much, but Michael has a copy of Hero's Downfall in his hand, which can take care of the Elspeth.
The good stuff deck can be really good. All its cards, it's very, after sideboard, it just doesn't have a dead card.
Supreme Verdict was the draw. And that's actually what Woodrow left on top, so
yeah.
Little 2-for-1 action.
And that's actually going to be really good here. So I was talking a bit about how Elspeth is a game finisher for Bogucki, but at the same time, he does have Sphinx's Revelation, I think, in his hand. So while Elspeth is a win con, if it gets downfalled, that's probably fine.
Yeah.
It's just buying him more time until he can Revelation for even more.
There's a voice. And the draw is a Doomblade here. Of course, it's a Doomblade he may want to play in his main phase, but how about an Elspeth instead?
Elspeth seems great. He's at 6. He needs to watch out for his own life total a bit, and that'll work.
And there are your soldier tokens. Now, there's the Hero's Downfall. That's the last card there for Michael, so now he's just got to start top decking to get himself out of this situation. And that's not the best start. It's
better than a generic land,
yep.
But that's about it. He keeps the card on top, though.
You know what I think it is? I'm going to guess. I didn't even see it. Obsidat.
That'd be good.
That's my guess.
All right. That'd be a great draw.
Yeah, it'd be very, very good. Revelation you see there. Has a heart. He has the main phases now because of voice.
Yeah, main phase for his voice. Also, it helps him he can make his land drop if he draws the land, which is probably more important than end stepping it anyway.
See if he does have a land to play. Yep. It's a temple too, so it's a pretty good turn.
Perfect. Yep, up to 9, gets a temple, puts the card on the bottom.
Let's see what this card is.
Did you call it? Oh, close.
I was close.
You were very close.
I was really close, actually. It's a Blood Baron of Escopa, which is actually still pretty good in this situation. Those tokens are white. So that's a thing.
Yeah, he's going to need an answer to it. When you look at his deck, the answers, Supreme Verdict is one of his best answers. He's used a lot of them already, however. He does not have many cards that actually answer or actually can block or kill Blood Baron.
That top card goes to the bottom really, really quickly here for Woodrow. You see his hand, he's got a Sin Collector, a couple copies of Detention Sphere. We know about the Doomblade,
bunch
too.
Of black and white cards.
Yeah. And there's the Sphere. It's going to take care of the voice.
And this Blood Baron just might be good enough. Bogucki with plenty of cards, but no way to find. He has no card draw, no way to find anything. So he's just going to he has 3 turns to just draw something.
Here's an attack. 23-5 now.
If he hits Sphinx's Revelation, I think that'll be the game for him, but he doesn't have too much time to do it.
Let's see what this is. That's actually a pretty good draw. Underworld Connections.
It's very good.
Yeah, I like that. Do you like drawing now or waiting? Chances are what you draw you can't cast. There's definitely some cards you can cast.
Well, I think I'm fine with if Bogucki decides to Thought Seize me, I'm actually really happy about that.
Good point.
Because
good point.
then my Blood Baron became lethal.
Okay.
So I think you draw now on the off chance that you hit something you want to cast.
Well, there's a Sin Collector. So this could end up being bad. There's an Elspeth. Okay.
Only good stuff. Only good stuff.
Yeah, there are no mediocre to bad cards here in the junk deck. It is mythics and rares.
And kill spells.
Yes.
Which a lot of them happen to be rare also. But not all of them.
There's D-Sphere. That's going to get rid of Underworld Connections.
Wait, just kidding. I think all the removals. No, just kidding. All the removal spells are rares.
Yeah.
Abrupt Decays and Hero's Downfalls and Thought Seizes and Vraska.
Actually, oh my god. This is actually kind of fun.
Yes, every card in his deck is rare.
Every card's a rare better?
Every card is a rare or better.
Except for basic lands?
Why did he put? Oh, he put a Golgari Charm in the
Ah,
board.
jeez,
Wow.
that ruined it. One uncommon. Ultimate price.
Okay.
2 of those. Okay.
2.
So there are 3. 3 uncommons.
I guess no. His board has some non-rares in it, but his main deck is all rares.
Okay. Feels
Yep.
like the
That's why you
$1
call it a
million
good stuff deck, I imagine. It's because it has a lot of good stuff in it.
Mutavault's on chump blocking duty. That'll buy an entire draw step.
Yeah, I think he did that late because he wanted, like, there's an off chance he draws another Mutavault, and if that does happen, he could double block and kill the Blood Baron.
So now here's Elspeth, which we knew about. There's a temple, which can help find more good stuff.
Yeah, one more hit from the Blood Baron, and it's going to go ultimate also.
Which you don't see very often.
No. In fact, I'm wondering whether Villavicencio has any incremental life gain. You know, if he draws Scavenging Ooze, I think he can scavenge his way up to 30.
If you drew a Thragtusk, that would do it.
Thragtusk would also do it. Put him to
Fortunately, not here.
31.
Yeah. looks like Woodrow just has to pass the turn back with just a Doomblade and a land in his hand. So Elspeth's starting to actually take over a little bit now too. Is this Scavenging Ooze maybe? Not sure.
No,
Here comes the attack though.
Was it? If it was, then he missed out on a kill.
Yeah. Time for you.
Unless he wants to play around Fated Retribution, I suppose. But
That might actually be
would
worth it.
That would have already happened, though. If I have Fated Retribution and I'm Bogucki, I would main phase it for the Scry
Get
too.
your Scry, sure.
Yeah.
Try to find a little rev action.
Yep, down to 1.
3 more soldiers coming. He's actually starting to reach for some mana too. Jeez, what is this?
Oh, it's more Underworld
connections,
Connect. Gosh, so many cards that are just good against control.
All right, I'll take another card. Let's see what he finds now.
And it is all good stuff. It's a temple.
Temple lets him find more good stuff. Leaves that card on top.
Probably because it's good.
Yeah. Temples are so good. Yep, that's going to do it, it looks like. As Woodrow just does concede the game, so. Michael Villavicencio.
Did he draw the card per turn?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, just couldn't find anything. Michael Villavicencio is going to win this match. 2-1. He moves on to 4-1.
Yeah,
with
4-9.
junk.
Yeah, junk mid-range.
Junk.
Junk. It's good. Yeah, it's that whole very much good stuff mid-range style deck. We haven't seen too much of it this season, but it's starting to creep up.
Okay, as we said, all rares in the main deck, outside of 3 swamps and 3 forests. And then his sideboard has a couple uncommons, Golgari Charm, Sin Collector, Ultimate Price. But this is a really high-powered deck. No role players here.
Right.
This is just all the most powerful cards that can really be played in the color, you can argue, just getting the job done. And we've seen decks like this before in the past do well. Of just good stuff.
The main deck has lots of 1-ofs, 2-ofs, kind of covers the field, and then the sideboard lets you bend the deck whichever way you need to in the specific matchup.
Yeah, this is basically the Jun philosophy from last season, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
That was a deck that was filled with Olivia, Thragtusk, Rakdos' Return, Underworld Connections, didn't have Thoughtseize, thank goodness. Some other cards there. And then, it could just bend its sideboard to beat whatever it wanted, and goodness, did it do that over the course of those years.
I think this